Next one is dielectric constant. So this is a constant which is used to define the dielectric behavior of the materials. Dielectric, how much the dielectric has been polarized, right? How much charge can be stored inside the dielectric, and the capacitance of the dielectric. So in order to explain all these things, we need a constant which is the dielectric constant, right? So let us understand what is this. So there was a scientist, Faraday, who was the first to observe from his experiments that, let's say if we have two systems, in one system we have dielectric material placed inside, and in other system there is vacuum, so there is no dielectric. Okay, these are the plates of the capacitor, let's say. So this is first system which is without dielectric. So here there is complete vacuum inside the uh, plates of the capacitor, and here we have a dielectric material placed inside. So it may be mica, it may be glass, it may be wool, it may be any dielectric material. So this is with dielectric material. So this has been observed by Faraday that, number one, if two capacitors are charged to the same potential, the charge on the one containing the dielectric is greater than that of the other, right? Means if you give same potential, let's say we are giving same potential V to this system where there is no dielectric, and we are giving same potential V to the other system where there is a dielectric, right? So it was observed that the charge on the plates, on the plates of the capacitor is higher as compared to the charge stored by the other system where there is no dielectric, right? So let's say if Q1 is the charge stored by this capacitor, and if Q2 is the charge stored by another capacitor, then in that scenario, for same potential V, if same potential V is given to these two systems, then the charge on the one containing the dielectric must be higher as compared to the charge without dielectric. Means in that scenario Q2 must be greater than Q1. Okay, what does it mean? It means that a dielectric material increases the charge storage capacity of the dielectrics of the capacitors, right? Second observation was, if the capacitors are given same charge, the potential difference between the plates with dielectric is smaller than without the dielectric. Okay, means if you give same charge to both of these systems, let's say we are giving them charge Q. Okay, so if we are giving same charge Q to both of the systems without dielectric as well as with dielectric, then potential in the one where there is no dielectric will be higher than the potential with the system where there is a dielectric. Means if we are giving same charge Q to both of the systems, and let's say if in that scenario, let's say V1 is the potential without dielectric and V2 is the potential with dielectric material, then V1 must be higher than V2. Okay, so these were two very important observations which were given by Faraday and which further led to the invention of the capacitors, invention of the charge storage by the medium of capacitor by placing the dielectric material inside the capacitor plates, right? So when a voltage V is applied across the parallel plates of a capacitor, let the charges on one of the plate be Q and on another plate be minus Q, right? Then the capacitor C is related to the quantity of the charges on either plate Q by Q upon V, right? So you can say that capacitance is inversely proportional to the potential difference and it is directly proportional to the charge stored. Okay, so higher is the charge stored, higher will be the capacitance of the capacitor. However, it is inversely proportional to voltage. So this is what we can conclude from these two observations, observation 1 and observation 2. Okay, so if there is a vacuum, if we take this first system, let's say, then the capacitance for the first system, it can also be given by, this is also from the observation that capacitance, let us say if C naught is the capacitance for the first system, if C naught is the capacitance for the system A, then it has been also observed that capacitance is directly proportional to the area of cross section of the dielectric plates and the distance between them. Okay, so if D is the distance of separation between the plates of the capacitor, then C naught, if C naught is the capacitance of the system A, then this is directly proportional to the area of the cross section and inversely proportional to the distance of separation of the plates of the capacitor, right? So this proportionality is removed by a constant which is known as the permittivity of the free space, right? So this is epsilon naught A divided by T, right? So this is epsilon naught, this is known as the permittivity because here there is no medium in the first system A. If you see here we have vacuum, so epsilon naught is the permittivity, okay, of the vacuum, and this replaces this proportionality sign. Okay, so what does we confirm from this? Let us say this is 1 and from equation number 2. So if we compare both, we can say that C naught is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D, which is further equal to Q upon V naught. Okay, if V naught is the potential difference across the plates of the capacitor. Okay, so what we assume that plus Q is the charge on one plate, minus Q is the charge on other plate, and if they are connected to a source, this is positive, this is negative. Okay, so here, as you know, A represents the area of the plates and D is the distance between them, and the parameter epsilon naught is called permittivity of the vacuum. V naught is the potential difference between the plates without dielectric, and C naught is the capacitance of the system, right? Now what will happen if we place a dielectric material within the plates of the capacitor, right? So in this scenario, if we consider the case B, if a dielectric material is inserted into the region within the plates, then the capacitance denoted by CD, CD is the capacitance with dielectric, okay, is equal to epsilon A upon D, where epsilon is the permittivity of the dielectric material and this is further equal to Q upon Vd, where Vd is the potential difference with the dielectric, right? So here Vd is the potential difference with the dielectric and V naught is the potential difference with without dielectric, right? Epsilon naught is the permittivity, epsilon is the permittivity of the dielectric and epsilon naught is the permittivity of the vacuum. And we should also note that epsilon is greater than epsilon naught. The permittivity of the dielectric material is always greater than the permittivity of the free space. So if we take these two equations, let's say this is equation number 3 and equation number 4. So if we take the ratio of capacitance with dielectric and capacitance without dielectric, then this must be equal to V naught divided by Vd, and this is known as, this is also equal to epsilon upon epsilon naught. If you divide this equation number 4 with the equation number 3, then you will get this Cd upon C naught must be equal to V naught upon Vd, which is equal to epsilon upon epsilon naught, and this is also known as the ratio of dielectric, the ratio of permittivity of the medium to the permittivity of the free space is called dielectric constant K, and it is also known as relative permittivity. Okay, so K and epsilon r both are the same thing, right? K is known as the dielectric constant, epsilon r, you can also say the relative permittivity of the medium, both are the same, right? So you can say that epsilon r, or the relative permittivity, is it can be defined as the ratio of the capacitance of a capacitor with dielectric to the capacitance of the same capacitor without dielectric, right? Therefore, dielectric constant can be obtained by measuring the potential difference across the capacitor with and without the dielectric. If you measure the potential difference without dielectric and with dielectric across the plates of the capacitor, then you can just by dividing them, you can find out the dielectric constant of the medium. Please remember that this is greater than 1, K is greater than 1, or epsilon r is greater than 1, but it varies with different dielectric materials. If there is a wood inside the plates, the dielectric constant will be different. If there is wool inside the plates, then the dielectric constant will be different. So it varies with the medium, dielectric material, it varies from material to material. Okay. So you can say that from here you can say that the permittivity of the medium epsilon is equal to epsilon naught epsilon r, which is equal to epsilon naught into K, you can say. Okay, and one more thing, that the permittivity of free space is equal to 8.854 into 10 raised to power minus 12 farad per meter. This is the permittivity of vacuum or free space. Right? Any doubt here, students?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So we shall move next then. Next one is 3 electric vectors. This is very important. Three electric vectors E, P and D. E is the electric field, P is the polarization vector P, and D is the displacement vector, electric displacement vector, right? So we will see how, what is their significance and how they are related, how they are correlated in case of dielectrics. Okay. So first one is electric field intensity E. So this you might have studied in your lower classes also. The electric field intensity at any point in the electric field is defined as the force experienced by a unit positive charge placed at that point. So if F is the force on a point charge, then E is defined as, electric field intensity is defined as F upon Q, where Q is the point charge. That means Q is very, very small. So you can say limit Q tends to 0, F upon Q. The direction of E is same as that of F, right? And you can also explore this, and E could be written as E is equal to Q upon epsilon naught A, because you might be knowing that F is equal to Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into R square, right? So if we take this as a, this shape, if we take the area of influence as a circular shape, then 4 pi R square must be the area, and this is Q upon 4 pi Q upon epsilon naught A is the electric field intensity, E. Okay, so here epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space. You know that this is the permittivity of free space. A is the area receiving Q lines of force, and the unit of E is Newton per coulomb. Okay, so this is electric field intensity. Second vector is P. P is what? P is polarization vector. Polarization vector P. So this we have also discussed earlier. In the absence of an electric field, the molecules of a dielectric becomes polarized and gain electric dipole moment, right? When you apply any electric field, then the charge separation will take place and dipole moment will be induced inside the dielectric material, right? And we know that this effect is known as the electric polarization. Okay. The polarization vector is defined as the electric dipole moment induced per unit volume. Okay, so this P is defined as, polarization vector is defined as the amount of dipole moment that has been induced inside the dielectric material per unit volume. Okay, its unit should be what? See, P is equal to what? Q into length. Okay, so its unit is coulomb meter divided by meter cube. So its unit is coulomb per meter square. So this is the unit of the polarization vector. We can also show that this polarization vector is equal to the surface the density of polarization charge on the surface means surface charge density sigma p, right? कई बार आपको एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है छोटा सा 1 या 2 नंबर का, prove that the polarization vector is equal to, या prove that the units of polarization vector is same as that of the surface charge density, right? तो आप कैसे इसको प्रूव करोगे? See, let's say sigma p is the surface charge density. और सरफेस चार्ज डेंसिटी क्या होती है? चार्ज डिवाइडेड बाय एरिया, राइट? एंड if A is the area of cross section, A is the area of cross section, and L is the length of the dielectric slab, L is the length of the dielectric slab, तो वॉल्यूम क्या होगा? Volume must be equal to length into area. Okay, so therefore dipole moment P, small p, must be equal to how much? From here, from this equation, let us say equation 1 है ये, so this must be equal to p into volume, right? और volume क्या है? Length into area. So मैंने इसको ऐसे लिख दिया. Okay, okay, so we also know that surface charge density sigma p is equal to charge per unit area q upon a. Okay, it means q is equal to sigma p into a, right? Then in that case dipole moment क्या होता है? dipole moment charge into length, right? q into l. So this is q into l, right? q की वैल्यू यहाँ पे सब्सटीट्यूट करेंगे यहाँ से फ्रॉम दिस इक्वेशन नंबर 2, तो q की वैल्यू क्या है? सिग्मा p into a. So this is sigma p a l and let's say this is equation number 3. अभी आपका ये भी डाइपोल मोमेंट है p और ये भी आपका डाइपोल मोमेंट था. लेट अस से ये आपका इक्वेशन नंबर 2 है, ये 3 है और ये आपका 4 है. अब आप इक्वेशन नंबर 2 और 4 को कंपेयर करोगे तो दोनों डाइपोल मोमेंट्स हैं. सी ऑन लेफ्ट हैंड साइड यू कैन सी बोथ आर डाइपोल मोमेंट p, राइट? सो इट मीन्स दैट राइट हैंड साइड मस्ट बी इक्वल. सो इट मीन्स p into LA must be equal to sigma p a l. What does it mean? P polarization vector is equal to sigma p, right? This is what we wanted to prove. So it means that polarization vector P depends upon the induced surface density, right? Any doubt here, students?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Third one is electric displacement vector D. Electric displacement vector D. So to start with, see when a dielectric material is placed in a parallel plates inside the parallel plates of a capacitor, and when it is subjected to an external electric field E naught, then the dielectric is polarized. We know that, right? If we have, let's say, this kind of arrangement where these are the plates of the capacitor, okay, where this is the positive plate, this is the negative plate of the capacitor, and they are connected with the power source. Let us say potential V is given, and let's say the electric field E naught is there due to the applied potential. So E naught is the electric field. Now, if a dielectric slab is kept inside the plates of the capacitor, then what will happen? The polarization of the dielectric slab will take place, right? So due to the polarization, if this is the positive plate, so it means positive charge is there and negative charge is there on the other side, on the other plate. So it means the polarization of the dielectric will take place and negative charge will be collected on this side, on left hand side, and positive charge will be collected on the right hand side. Okay, so as a result, what will happen due to this separation of the positive and negative charge, another field will be induced inside the dielectric, which is known as the electric field due to polarization of the dielectric, right? So this will be opposite to the applied external field, okay? So this is the induced electric field denoted by EP, right? So the net electric field will be equal to what? The applied electric field E naught and minus EP, minus because this is in the opposite direction. So E is equal to E naught minus EP, where E naught is equal to what? Q naught, you can say this is Q naught, okay? So this is Q naught. For convenience, I have just denoted it like this. So E naught is equal to Q naught divided by what? Epsilon naught A, right? And what is EP? EP is the induced field. So induced field is equal to what? Induced field is equal to Q dash. Let us say Q dash. This charge is Q dash, induced charge. So this is induced charge divided by epsilon naught A. Okay. Therefore, if you substitute both of these values in this equation, let us say equation number 1, so E must be equal to Q naught divided by epsilon naught A minus Q dash divided by epsilon naught A. But we also know that this quantity, charge upon area, what is this? This is surface density. This is surface charge density, right? And surface charge density is equal to what? Sigma p is equal to what? Polarization vector. So if we substitute it here, this will become, and you can take epsilon naught over here. यहाँ पे भी दोनों जगह common है, so this will become epsilon naught E is equal to Q naught divided by A minus polarization vector P. Okay. So Q naught A, it further means that Q naught A is equal to epsilon naught E, and you can take P to the other side, so this will become positive. So this value, this Q naught upon A, the quantity on the left hand side is the free surface charge density. This is the free surface charge density and is called electric displacement D. Okay, so this is free surface charge density and called electric displacement. Electric displacement vector D. Okay, ये मैक्सवेल ने नाम दिया था इसको. So, and this is measured in coulomb per meter square. You can see from here, coulomb Q का यूनिट है, एरिया का यूनिट मीटर स्क्वायर है. So coulomb per meter square will be the unit of the electric field in electric displacement vector, right? So therefore, this further becomes D is equal to, this is D is equal to epsilon naught E plus P, right? So this is the relation between three electric vectors. You can see all the three electric vectors are being involved over here. D is the electric displacement vector, E is the electric field intensity, and P is the polarization vector, right? You can also represent this equation diagrammatically. So how to represent it diagrammatically? Let's say if we have the plates of the capacitor like this, and we have a dielectric slab as well inside the plates of the capacitor like this. Let's say this is the positive plate, this is the positive plate, being positive charge is being there, and this is the negative plate of the capacitor. So as a result, there will be positive charge induced on the lower side, and there will be negative charge induced on the upper side. Okay, so what is D? See, the electric displacement vector D is connected with the free charge only. ठीक है, क्या है इसकी वैल्यू? D is equal to क्या था? Q naught upon A. तो अगर आप इसको देखोगे, this is totally connected with the free charge, right? तो इसमें जो lines of force होंगी, they will be just the lines of force coming from this positive plate to negative plate, right? So this, because this is just concerned to the free charge only, इसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है डाइलेक्ट्रिक के साथ. So these will represent the electric displacement vector D. Similarly, the electric field में क्या है? इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड कंटेन्स बोथ. ठीक है, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड E की वैल्यू अगर आप यहाँ से देखोगे, सो E इज इक्वल टू E नॉट माइनस ई पी, राइट? तो E नॉट माइनस ई पी का मतलब है कि इसमें इलेक्ट्रिक लाइंस ऑफ फोर्स दोज हु आर कमिंग फ्रॉम प्लेट्स ऑफ द कैपेसिटर एज वेल एज द इलेक्ट्रिक लाइंस ऑफ फोर्स विच इज ड्यू टू द इंड्यूस्ड फील्ड, राइट? क्योंकि E इज इक्वल टू E नॉट माइनस ई पी था. ठीक है, तो इसमें दोनों तरह की लाइंस इन्वॉल्व हैं. ओके, सो this will contain the free charge, the lines of force due to the free charge as well as the lines of force due to the this one, the lines of force due to the dielectric polarization of the dielectric. The representation is just like this. So this is this part epsilon naught E. Now let's talk about P, polarization, right? So polarization is totally concerned with the lines of force inside the dielectric material, right? It has no lena dena with the this free charge, right? So the lines of force will be just like this. Okay, so this will give you the polarization vector P. Yes, students, is it clear? Any doubt here?
No. No, ma'am.
Great. So that's all for today. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, any of the students.